Hi, welcome back. To see our install plugin, after the plugin installation, Jenkins will restart and redirect you to the dashboard section. If you need to see the install plugin, we can go to the manage Jenkins and manage plugins, and in the install section, we can see all the plugins that we installed it. We installed the publish over SSH agent, and we also installed the SSH pipelines steps. So this is one thing we already did that. Now we need to configure some of the plugin like web server, assuming that we have a web server, and we need to configure it to deploy the deployment through Jenkins. So for this, we need to configure the SSH publish over SSH plugin. The first thing we're going to use it in the pipelines. So before we create a project or pipeline, we first gonna set up a publish over SSH plugins, so we can send over artifact to that particular server. So publish over SSH, like either we can use the uh, keys, or we can add the SSH servers as well. So at this point, we are adding a web server. Then we need to have the IP address of the web server. So we need to collect the IP. So our server IP is 0.117. So we can specify our IP, either here IP, either IP or the host name, 172.168.0.117. At this point, we need to provide the username or the directory, home directory, or the landing path. This is our home directory, and in the advanced section, we can specify the username. Yeah, and also we can provide some more configuration. When we click on this section, it will give us the text field to provide the password. So we are providing our password over here, or also we can specify the private key as well if we want to log it into private key. So then at this point, we can specify the Jenkins private key over here, and we need to add to the authorized section of SSH as well. So at this point, we are not going to do this. We are just testing the configuration. If the Okay, you can see that this has been successful. We just need to apply and save, and then we are good to go. So we are going to configure our first job. This could be a freestyle project, Maven project, pipeline, multi configuration project. So these are the option available, like multi branch pipeline. If we have a multiple branches, then we can configure this pipeline from over here as well. But as of now, we have a freestyle project. So we can give it the name as web server. Sorry, you can say that front end. We are giving it a name as a front end, so front end dash SRVs. So after the OK, it will redirect to the job configuration window. At this point, we will be doing some basic level of configuration. We are not doing anything. We are just putting up a file to the particular server. So at this point, we are saying it. This is our you can say H1. This is a simple text, friendly text to display on the Jenkins job dashboard. We can say that front end servers, and then we can say the GitHub project URL. This section is we need to specify the SCM, or at initial we can say that provide the SCM as a GitHub project. If we have our other SCM like source control management, so we can specify over here. Since we don't have our repository URL, either we can give it from here, or from here as well. Initially we are going to use from here as well. We have a GitHub project for testing, so I'm gonna use that project. This is an open and public project, so anyone can clone and use it. For initial testing, we are using that node app project. So projects, repositories, we have a repository called node app, and we just need to clone that particular node app server. We can use the SSH. Okay. At this point we are just using try to interact with the Jenkins CI, Jenkins portal. So at this point we can say that build periodically. At this point we can specify the time on which we need to execute the jobs, or yeah, we can at this point we can ask our Jenkins project to look for the project to be successful or the fail. So this is something when dependent project execution. When we select this option, we need to specify a project that depends over here, like if we have a pre-built step on the different job, like for building and running testing, so we can specify over here that job, like if a QA test built successfully, we can specify the Jenkins job name as like front end SRV. So this is the job name we need to specify over here, same as for. But as of now we are not going to use this option. We are going to say okay, build this project periodically. We can picked up any sample from here, or we can create our over here as well. So we can say that on every hour 15 minutes you need to execute this particular job, like so this means our current would have last run at 11:10 and then 11:25. So that means it will execute every 15 minutes. So this is the option we specified, the build trigger option, and this is more option related to that. And then this is a build environment, or here we can configure the build environment, or we can say send artifact over SSH, or from here we can say send files or execute command over SSH. And at this point we can specify the artifact files, like we can say that static this will be look on the current workspace directory, and it will copy all the source file. And on the from the remove like we have a prefix on the web server configuration, that /root, and remote path is var, because this is a web server. So we can say var www.html. So send files to var www.html. And so this is the transfer set we configured it. And if we need to execute some more commands after the, like we need to restart the Jenkins, so we can specify over here service nginx restart. So this is we can do that as well. If we need to execute ls space minus la or any command on the remote system, we can execute from here as well. So this is one thing. Post build notification, we can say okay, email notification to Mansoor Ali 901 at gmail.com. So this will whatever the build status is it will this will be sent to that particular email to using the email notification. So send separate emails to individual who broke their build. So this is one post build step we already configured. So far what we have done, we have configured the general information of the build pipeline. So at next we specify the SCM path, where the repository accessed by Jenkins, and then we specify the schedule, and then we specify build steps, send artifact over SSH, and then we specify a post build step. So we are saving this as well, and now we can see by building it execute from here. So it's executed successfully. If we see the log file, we can see running as system, building var labwork as well, this ls space minus la. So Nginx being restarted on the remote server and went successfully, because we haven't provided any files to the server. So nothing went up. What it will does, it will just remove like execute the remote commands. So in this video we have interact with the basic project configuration. In the next video we going to see the more detailed configuration about the projects. So see you in the next video.